My friend, I'm sending you in to the Forgotten Realms as a commoner to the town of Fallcrest. Your character will be an extension of your actual self. You will appear to everyone in the game world as a 17-year-old version of yourself in peasant clothes. Your stats are all 10. You will learn skills, feats, and abilities as you get to know the town and the people in it. I will give you quests to complete, with various rewards for success. The quests themselves may seem mundane to start, but I assure you, the action will find you regardless. You will be the only character who knows that this is a fantasy world. Everyone else is convinced their reality is the true one. I am also granting you a special ability to help you in the game world. You may ask me 3 yes or no questions about anything in the game world. This is a map of Fallcrest. For centuries, Fallcrest stood as the largest and strongest city in the realm. But 100 years ago, it fell to an army of orcs who had terrorized the land in a prolonged conflict now remembered as the Bloodspear War. With both sides decimated, the survivors abandoned Fallcrest to fend off the last remaining orcs from the surrounding towns. For nearly a century, Fallcrest laid abandoned. But a year ago, people started moving back in. 7 wealthy lords formed a trade union and signed a charter restoring Fallcrest, at least in name. However, the city still lies mostly in ruin, from the war and from a century of disrepair. The population is less than 1,000, and a city built for 5 times that. You appear here, on the edge of the tree line, looking at the back of a tavern, an inn, the small stables beside it, and an outhouse behind it. It is mid-afternoon. This establishment is called The Last Stand. Your first quest: get a job washing dishes at The Last Stand and keep it for 1 full shift. For completing the first quest, you will be rewarded with 1 success point. A success point can be used to hand wave any roll that you could possibly make and make it an automatic success.
Interesting.
You begin.
So I'm just wearing basically simple pants, simple shirt.
However you want to imagine your peasant clothes starting out, that's what they look like.
Okay.
Your pockets are empty.
I got nothing but my name. I'm sure on my back.
Whatever that name is, decide. You can call yourself your name, call yourself Tom Graymond, call yourself something Vanguard or whatever.
So my name can be whatever I want it to be.
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want it to be my name. Like I could. All right, let's head over.
You head across some old fallow farmland, past the rickety old outhouse, and come around the corner to the front of the tavern. It is midday. You can see that the wall of the city from where you are, you can see it's badly broken in several places. But you can see that there are armed guards who do walk back and forth across what is still standing. And you can hear hammering in the distance from people slowly rebuilding. You head around to the front. It's a large wooden door.
Let's open her up.
You open her up. You head in through the front door. At the far end of the tavern, there's a bar. An older, grizzled-looking human stands behind it, tending the bar. Behind them there's a doorway to, looks like a kitchen area behind. There are 2 doors that lead elsewhere. These are support posts. These are tables. most of which are empty. There's a large round table at the center. There's a couple people at a table over here, a couple people at a table over here. Humans, by the looks of them. Farmers, dock workers, not entirely sure. Keeping to themselves, they glance over in your direction when you open the door, but go right back to drinking. Getting an early start.
Alright, I'm going to walk straight up to the bar, to the old man, and make sure I have his attention as I get there.
And,
And,
he looks you over and sees you as you approach, and he kind of stands up a little straighter, waiting for you to...
Say I need a room for the night, I have no money, and I'm willing to work to earn it.
He nods, says, well, kid, you're in luck. A dishwasher walked off last night. Got a pile of them, need cleaning. I need someone to keep them clean tonight, too. We're expecting quite a rush.
I can help with that.
He nods. Says, well, all right. Holds out his hand. I'm Carl.
Take his hand, say it. I'm Scott.
All right, Scott. He jerks his thumb back over his shoulder. Says, let me take you around back. He heads back through this way. There's no way for you to get through there. But he opens up this door here. And it leads back into a kitchen area that runs about 10 feet back here. There is a cooking area over here, storage, casks of ale and wine, and back over here there is there are sinks and piles of dishes and mugs.
All right, follow them. I tell him I know what to do. So he doesn't explain anything to me. And I just get going.
All right.
If I have fill things with water, soap it up, all that good stuff.
Very good. You will get started, and it's not rocket science, but
Exactly.
start scrubbing away, and time begins to pass. After an hour, you can start to hear the murmur of voices. You can kind of peer out and see that more people have started flooding in as it becomes early evening. By the time you get most of the dishes scrubbed, a door opens in the back. In walks a guy dressed like a cook. He's got long, greasy hair pulled back into a ponytail. kind of limps in. Seems to have kind of an old leg injury. Sees you. Keeps moving into his area, but looks over at you. Says, you're new.
I nod and say, earning my way.
He nods. Says, well, just see that you keep out of mine. He starts pulling out pans and starts prepping for the...
It's not, I'll do like a take out a dish and just kind of like a sure thing, gesture, and then go back to it.
Very good. He goes about his work, you go about your work. Within another hour or so, you start smelling some pretty delicious meat being cooked. So he's got, looks like a few legs of lamb that he's preparing. Doesn't look like these people are going to be getting much variety. Looks like everybody's getting lamb. You know, that's just how it works for something this kind of place. But he's, getting them ready and mixing spices for him. The cook reaches for a tin, opens it, and when he looks, face kind of turns. He slams the tin down and goes to the door behind the bar and calls to the bartender. Tells him there's a rat, one of the spice bins, and we need to get some more pronto because the whole thing is spoiled. We're gonna get through the night. The bartender reaches into his apron. Says, well, how much do we need? And the cook says, 5 silver's worth. Reaches in his pocket, pulls out 5 silver. Bartender looks, peeks back into the kitchen, looks at you, says, hey, why don't you take a little break from that there? I need you to run me an errand.
But whatever I'm doing down inside, dry my hands off, turn around and say, absolutely.
He says, he holds out 5 silver. I need you to head up to the market. Go to the spice tent. Get whatever the cook tells you to get. And be quick about it.
Will do.
Yeah, he gives you the money. He does. All right, you take the 5 silver?
Yep.
All right, you got it. The cook tells you a specific spice that you need to get. Tells you to repeat it so that you know what it is.
Old Spice. Yeah, Old Spice.
Right,
Really
5
Old
silver
Spice.
worth of Old Spice.
All right. So I'll be back in a little while. And
All right. You head on out and head up the road to the market.
no, like, am I familiar with this town at all, just in general? Like, do I know where the market is?
Well, here's the thing. As I show you things as the DM, you become aware and can apply them to your character's thought process. So right now, your character is aware that I'm showing him that he's being shown a map of Fallcrest. And I'm pointing out that this is where the area is. That
Okay.
you're here, and you need to get there. You dig?
Awesome. I like that a lot.
All right, good deal.
So I just unlocked the map.
Exactly. You unlock the map feature.
That's so cool. Sweet. All right, so
Head up the
yeah,
road.
just head on up.
All right.
I'm gonna hum along the way.
Mm.
It's a good day.
Very
I have
good.
5 silver right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I could get spice, or I could just do something else.
Your cheapest whore, please. You head down the road. And as you pass the main gates of the city, you see there are more guards who are on duty there. There's a new sign out front. Says Fallcrest across it.
So, all right.
You head through. You head down the road. As you are crossing a small bridge over a small stream, you're crossing here, you see a man meagerly dressed like a monk. Looks like he's in his mid-late 20s. And he has got a wood bar going across his shoulders, he's holding onto like this, and hung from either end from ropes are bundles of bricks that are well preserved. And you see that there's rubble all over the town. It looks like he's gathered up some of the better looking bricks from the rubble and is walking with them, keeping balance on the weight as he carries them from one place to another. And it's a little unusual, but he sees you as he passes and just kind of nods respectfully and keeps on his way.
I said keep up the good work as I pass by him. And not back. Seriously.
Yeah, very good. All right, he
It's a good man, whoever this guy is.
he looks back and nods, continues forward. You head on down, and in this area you get to the market area, which is this large clearing. Although it appears as a clearing on the map, it is filled with tents and small stands with people calling out, their latest sales and bargains. It's very loud and chattery, even as the sun is setting. Fishermen are bringing in fresh fish and calling out the prices for them, and people are bustling around buying the freshest things and looking through imports from nearby lands.
All right, so I will say I know what this. Just to go to a spice vendor, like whoever seems like they're selling some spice stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to just walks. I'm very goal oriented. Beeline
Okay.
right to it. I'm on a mission from God.
You head in, and there is a spice merchant. He's an older fellow, wrapped up in silks and a little pudgy and overweight. Looks very well off. And has jars of spices set up on tables and whatnot. It's an easy enough exchange. You tell him what you want.
It's some old spice.
Yes, of course, the old spice. For yourself.
Yeah, but very old.
Not too old, of course. Okay.
So-
where do you keep the silver? In your pocket?
Yeah, we're just gonna have pants, just
Yeah.
basic pant pockets. Obviously, otherwise, I have pockets. So I ask him, how much? Like, is it gonna be all 5?
Yeah, you
Okay.
hand over the 5 coins.
All right. I asked one. Maybe it could have been 4. I'm just saying.
Right.
I had silver for myself or whatever. All right. So yep.
All right.
Pay and so I'm back. Tell him that I have a good day. Thank you, all that good stuff.
He gestures for you. Gestures as you leave. You head on out. Start making your way across the market. And you get about halfway across when you don't make it halfway across the market. Someone bumps into you. Roll D20. Roll, you have to roll an 11 or higher, or you'll be knocked to the ground.
Yes, I am. Oh, down I go.
Down you
like
go.
Like sticks.
Into the dirt. And just for a split second, you see someone running over you with a cloak. By the time you start pushing yourself to your feet, you feel in your pockets that the spice is gone.
Son of a bitch. I literally say as I realize this. And then I say, not in my town. Run after him.
You start running through the crowd. And you run where you saw him last go. And you break through a little cluster of people who are kind of moving between two tents. You brush past them, and you look, and you see that he's probably gone between two tents, but you don't know if he's turned to the left or to the right.
Alright. Go left.
Now you could use a yes or no answer.
Or a question?
Or a yes or no question.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. I have 3 of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, did you go left?
No.
I will go right.
You turn to the right, and you see just a little way down the arc, kind of the curve of the market. You see that you see a cloak kind of billow past as he's running back into the market.
Chase after him.
You start with everything you have, start chasing after this figure, and you turn, and you get to where he turned and returned back into the crowd. He seems to have disappeared back into the crowd, and you'd have to charge back in to try and find him again.
Is there anything that I can climb on? Like, maybe get to a higher vantage somewhere? Like on top of
There is a
let's see if I get
tree right here with some low-hanging branches that look like you could prop yourself up and get a better vantage point.
do that.
Roll climb. We'll say to get up in time to see something useful, you would have to roll we'll say 11 or higher. Spryly, you
Yeah, boy.
pull yourself up to a better vantage point.
It's kind of getting a rush. It's like, just look around and just got the adrenaline's going.
Mm-hmm.
It just got me right up that tree. That's what that was.
Yes, your pulse pounding as you're looking out over the market. And you see the cloaked figure run up to a small stand and seems to have a brief exchange with someone at the stand. And you can see that the small stand is being run by a halfling who's standing on a small platform in front of the stand. And, well, not a small halfling, a halfling. And the halfling has a 3-cup, find the lady gimmick up at his stand. And cloaked figure runs up to him, has a very brief exchange, and you're not quite sure if he passes the spice over to him or not. You can't quite tell from your vantage point, but they talk for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then the guy at the cloak turns and runs behind the stand, and then kind of vanishes from your point of view.
Did he give him the spice?
You want to know?
That's one of my questions.
That's your question? Yes, he gave me the spice.
Alright. Beeline for the halfling.
Alright.
It's cutting through people, weaving.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm like watching him as I'm advancing. Like everyone else is a blur.
Sure. You're keeping your eyes as
yep.
you're moving forward. Yeah. Push your way through, and you get up as you're approaching the stand, He calls out, try your luck, and starts, has a gold coin that he is moving between 3 little wooden bowls, or 3 little cups. They're covering, he's sliding it, move from one to the other and then moving them around. He says, try your luck. First time's free to play.
I'm gonna walk straight up to him and look him straight in the face and say, rope figures just here. I need to have what they gave you.
He says, well, young man, there are people in robes all over the place here. You're gonna have to do better than that. Care to try your luck?
I nod. I'm like, alright. Let's do this.
He looks at you, and for a moment there is a knowing, almost like an acknowledgement that, yes, yeah, you saw what happened, but you have absolutely no proof, and there are people with cloaks all over the place here, so.
I gotcha. So
he says, the game's simple. Follow the gold coin, and if you pick the right one, it's yours. First time's free. After that, costs a copper to play.
Stand there and fold my arms. And I say, begin.
Smiles. And starts moving it from one cup to the other, moving the other cups around, and quite deftly. After a few moments of flair and diversion, the 3 cups stop. You're not entirely sure which one it is under. Roll intelligence. And if you get above a 15,
oh,
do not.
That's
it would narrow it down by 1.
Appropriate for me.
It would narrow it down by 1. It does not.
Roll intelligence, yes, 3 as well, right?
Right. Yep.
Alright. Is the coin in the middle one?
Yes.
So I'm sitting there, my arms crossed, and I actually lean down, like, towards the cups. Looking all suspect between the 3 of them, and then knock over the middle one.
Right as you center in on his face changes for a brief flicker. You're looking down at a single gold coin.
Pick it up and hold it to him. Just I can't do it. Here you go. He knows what's going on. This is what. This is it. I'm giving you something, then you give me what I want. That's like basically. That's I won't say anything. I just hand it to him. That's like the vibe I give off. Oh yeah.
He takes a few moments to think this over. This is not where he thought his night would be going. And after a moment, he reaches out, takes the gold coin, reaches into his cloak, pockets it, pulls out from the same pocket a small bag of spice, hands it out.
Kind of like a quick snap. You know, this has already belonged to me. I've got it back, kind of things. I say, have a good day. And just
he, as you're walking away,
kind of nonchalant.
Sure. As you're walking away, he kind of calls out to you, says, "Feel free to come back and try your luck anytime."
All right.
Okay.
I clutched onto the bag and hold it to my chest.
Yeah.
For the entire way back.
Yeah. You do so.
Football and 2 people.
Yeah. You make it back and hand the spice over to the cook. He takes it. He says, "What took you so long?" Starts applying it to the.
I'll be honest, I got robbed, and then I had basically had to win the spice back from a shady character.
He looks at you, and kind of has a lingering look as he's kind of studying to see if you're bullshitting him, or in a place like this, that kind of thing does happen. So he looks you over and seems to believe you. Says, "Good work, then." Says, doesn't give you too much, back patting.
I nod and I go back to washing dishes, and I say, "There are too many people wearing cloaks in this city." It's like offhandedly.
Sure. He kind of chuckles, says, "Good cloak's the best way to blend in."
All right. Well, for now, my quest is to do a night shift.
Continue. Yep. Finish the shift.
So
People
for now,
are still.
I'll simply maybe we make small talk. You know, whatever.
Sure.
Sure. Not gonna get into it. Otherwise, just keep cleaning. Maybe.
You return to work, and after a few minutes after the cook uses the spice as he needs to, cook heads up to the bartender and mumbles something to him. And you don't quite hear over the clanging dishes and the roar of the crowd. And bartender kind of looks over his shoulder, looks back at you as you're washing dishes, kind of nods, and goes back to his work. And the cook heads back to a barrel of ale in the kitchen, grabs a clean stein, and fills it up. Then he hands the stein over to you. Says, take a break.
I say, alright, thank you. And suppose there's like somewhere to sit down and sign something.
Yeah.
Just kind of say there's a box or some shit. Sit down. Chug.
It's a big fucking stein. This is like, 4 bottles of beer. So it doesn't expect you to just down it all at once. It tells you that you can sip away at your leisure as you work. It helps to make the time fly.
Nice.
He pulls out a little flask from one of his pockets and has a little sip of something a little stronger. Puts it back in. So he's waiting on something. Like, it's nothing really to do right now, so he's just waiting on waiting on the fire to do its work.
I ask him how long he's worked here.
Tells you he came in with the first group of people.
I ask him if he knows there's any other work to do around town.
It's plenty. Take your pick. People are looking for help all over town. We got folks coming in from the surrounding areas, but not fast enough. You sit there, sipping your beer. It's called Amber Mead Ale.
Amber Mead? Nice.
And
I'll ask him if he's always been a cook. There we go.
Pauses and kind of smiles. Shakes his head. Says, no, I've worked many jobs over the years. Many places and many ports.
What's this guy's name again?
He tells you his name is Vance.
What do you think? So I'll introduce myself as Scott. I'm Scott. Very simple.
Sure.
Very straightforward.
He says, well, Scott, says, seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. My advice, stay out of trouble. Then he looks over, sees he's got to attend to something, and he heads back to the kitchen. Take a few more sips and head back to work. After another hour or so, the meat is ready to serve, and cook starts putting big chunks out on plates. The bartender peeks back and asks you if he can serve plates without dropping them.
Can't help with that. Try to dry my hands off really well.
Yeah, good call. All right. He says, all right, well, one per seat, he says, and heads back to the bar. And cooks just starts lining them up on tables, just plates, chunks of lamb.
So I gotta take one to every table?
Yep.
They do? Okay. Like, I can move when I want, when I need to move. And I like to figure around shit when I move around stuff, so basically 2 at a time, just kind of do a little dance around the place.
You move on out, start serving the tables?
Yep.
All right. 2 at a time? You realize you're going to have to rush to keep these things from getting cold, but at the same time, you don't want to be dropping these things. And you can see that the place is packed. There is not an open seat at any table or at the bar.
Jeez.
Oh, I should say, not people at the bar don't get served, but everyone at the tables do.
Oh, yeah,
Bars, just drinks. But a lot of people already have, you know, a number of drinks already on the table, so you're going to have to move them around the stuff. And you can see that it is mostly full of what look like farmers, dock hands, some fishermen, just by the smell of it. But you see, as you're serving the first table, which goes smoothly and easily enough, they ignore you. They just kind of move to the side as you put their plates down. They go about talking and disregard you. They're already half drunk, most of them.
Background, I get it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, as you're serving this table, you see that the round table has some unusual looking patrons sitting at it. From the look of them, they look like a bona fide adventuring party. Dwarf sits here. Has the look of a fighter. Beside him, male elf has the look of a ranger. Here, there is a human female who is looks like she's wearing a simple like farm girl's dress, but looks somewhat out of place with this group. They seem to be, you know, conversing with her as an equal, and she with them.
Well, she seems kind of like underdressed compared to everyone else, but there's
yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And here there is a female human who has the look of a barbarian. Tall, broad-shouldered, powerful-looking, with many tattoos. And in this seat over here, there looks to be a town guard who is sitting and conversing with them. And that is the local adventuring party.
Interesting.
You see them, but you're in a hurry, so you head back and you start making trip by trip, getting everyone served. Roll d20, don't botch.
How'd you botch? Oh, magic number, baby.
Opposite of a botch. You make it through without knocking anything over as you make it over to the main table, and you are able to get a closer look at them as you serve, and you barely overhear as you make a couple trips, but they sound like they're discussing a recent expedition out into some woods nearby where they were trying to clear out an old keep. And the sound of it, everything went pretty well, but that's really all you get, and then you have to move on to these next tables, and you don't hear anything after that.
I silently geek out. I listen to them and then get sad when I have to feed these people.
Why is that one staring at us?
You know, puppy dog eyes.
Can I quest too? As you get over this way here, these guys are raucous and loud. This table over here is completely full of dock workers. As you are setting down a plate over here, one of them, really drunk, says to the group, just kind of blurts out, "Well, I gotta piss," and he shoves himself out, and just completely oblivious to you as you're reaching out, and he strikes you with his shoulder, barreling into you, knocking you off balance.
So can I roll? As soon as he's gonna bump into me, I basically kind of like roll dex to make sure I don't stumble over, lose the food, or anything like that.
Yeah. Roll dexterity. It's not enough.
I was gonna say it's not the number I was looking for.
You get shoved back, and the plate full of succulent, wet, dripping meat goes flying off the plate into the back of a guy's neck sitting over here at this table. As you go stumbling back into a guy who is over here at this table, and you kind of crash into him, and he, what the fuck? Roll reflex to keep from falling on your ass. Roll an 8 or higher. Alright, so you catch yourself on the table, yeah. But even as you're steadying yourself, another dock worker you had just splattered with hot lamb from this guy's plate gets up, spins around, and as he's getting up, spins around, collides with this guy who's already getting up and spinning around. Two drunk assholes checking out what's going on, both slam into each other. And in the next second, this guy pulls a punch back, a wild drunken punch ready to swing. This guy is just a little more coherent, ducks, and he swings and stumbles into the guy's table. And you just basically see the beginning of a fight starting to happen between these two guys. This guy's chair tips over and skids across nearby where you are. And all these other guys just start getting up, and people are rising, and other people are like peering over to see what's happening.
I'm going to say, I didn't do anything, and then try my best to just kind of like weasel my way over here. I want zero part of this.
They can barely hear you over the initial cries and profanities being exchanged. But these guys start backing up the guy who swung and missed. And these guys start backing up the other guy as the two of them kind of recover and go at it again. And now these two tables are basically crawling to get at each other. Looks like this has been itching and brewing for a while. This accident just set it off.
Well, in that case, yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, you're moving, yeah.
If these guys are coming over here, I'll kind of like veer around over and just. I'm facing this way as I do. It's just basically backstepping, kind of looking around, making sure.
Sure.
But also kind of keep an eye on like everyone as shit's going down, just make sure no one's coming at me.
Yeah.
As I'm doing this.
Yeah. And there are like big meaty fists being like swung, and bodies are getting knocked back. One of these guys fell back into you hard. It would knock you over and probably break a few bones. So you are wise to try and take caution as you are moving through this area. As you're making your way out, trying to duck and dodge, one of the guys picks up a chair and tries to whip it at one of the other guys, who ducks, and the chair goes flying through the air straight at you. Roll reflex 10 or be struck.
Nope. Maybe I was like looking back or something as I was kind of backing up, and I just turned forward and
nearly out, nearly clear when a stray chair strikes you. Roll reflex to
make sure I don't fall.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called a hard stumble.
Yeah, a hard stumble. Yeah.
Oh. Whatever was in my hands is no longer in my hands.
Yeah, totally.
Like broken plates on the floor right now, and I'm just like, probably with a bloody nose. Just continue backing up.
You stagger out of the way and get clear. The adventurers kind of look on with derision.
Gonna make my way over to their table. And I look at the guard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I look at him, make sure he's paying attention to me, since I'm just pretty much standing next to him. And I just gesture with like, well, kind of look.
The guard is looking on, probably more entertained than anyone else. He's got a drink in his hand. You gesture. He looks at you. Seems a little annoyed. Says, "I'm off duty." He takes a sip. Then the rest of the adventurers kind of stare him down, and a moment later he's like, sets down his drink, gets up, pulls out a baton, and starts banging it on his bracer and calling out at these guys to break it up. Bartender, he's just looking on with his fist, just kind of shaking his head. You head back. As you're heading back this way, he leans over the bar, says, "What the hell happened?"
To tell him the truth, a guy got from his table, bumped into me, food bumped into another guy, and then I bumped into someone else. It was a very bad series of events, I say.
I say you're having one hell of a day. He's like, "Alright, well, accidents happen. Get back to work."
How's the food dispensed? Or is there still some left?
There's well, actually, the last few plates were going to be at this table over here, and these guys are now getting cleared out. So,
alright, so it's not really...
Yeah.
and take the food for myself. It's already paid for, right?
In fact, as you get back, one of the remaining plates, the cook picks it up, kind of offers it out to you.
Absolutely. I'm sure I haven't eaten like almost all day.
You start to feel your injuries a little more as the time passes. So you keep drinking your beer, and that helps. After another hour or so, the place gets noticeably quieter as people move out. Once the place is pretty much empty, bartender has you clean up all the tables and plates, take it back, start washing, which will take another couple hours. Probably not what you were expecting to do when you sat down to play D&D.
I roll to be efficient. Hey, let's just say it gets done really well.
Everything looks in order, and you would never guess that there was a fight. To the point that he is impressed with your work, and you clearly put effort into it. Didn't just try to get away with the least amount of work possible, like the last guy who's no longer working here. It's probably nearly 10 or 11 o'clock by the time you're all done. The bartender tells you that there's they're all full up here, but there's a large supply closet with a cot that you can use for the time being.
That'll work.
Gives you a key to get in. You head outside to take a piss before bed. Go out to the gross outhouse. Spiders crawling all over you.
Send. Go to my little cot.
You head up to your room. And for completing this quest successfully, you are awarded 1 success point. And 5 luck points, which can be used to raise the numerical value of any roll, or to lower the numerical value of any roll that I should make.
Oh, interesting.
And so I return you to this world, to our world.
Boring ass world.
A world without quite as much magic. It's there, but it's hidden. It's a pain in the ass to get to, so don't even try. Thank you for playing.
That was awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.